Hopefully, you can hear me okay. Well, it's been a little slow. I haven't had a lot of time to work on it. It's been raining, it's been cold, but I did go to Harbor Freight the other day and I bought one of the pipe rollers, one of the big Berthas, like this guy. I need to see if I can do the rolls along the sides that are not a standard radius. They just kind of get tighter as they go back and they're loose in the front. The first two I did for top and bottom, I should say first four, two sides each. The first ones I did, I had to go in and use the pipe bender and slowly crank every couple of inches and slowly crank and then keep cycling it through until I got the arch that I needed. And that was really time consuming, but it worked. What it also did was it put little indentations every 4 inches along the whole perimeter of the tube, inside and out, and I didn't like that. It shows, not bad, but it does show, and it's not something that I'm real happy with. So I thought I'd go ahead and try to grab one of these guys. Now I've read online that when you try to make long sweeps, that it'll actually start twisting inside, and it really can't be stopped unless you do modifications to it. So what I did was I went ahead and made one. And I verified that if you're looking down this thing, you're not going to be able to see it, but it's pretty cool. Yeah, it does. It twists. This part here starts to come out, goes in, and then the bottom tail comes out again. And without doing modifications to the machine, there's really no way around it. However, I did find something out, and that is if you focus on 10 or 12 inch sections at a time, loosen it up often, tighten it back up by realigning the pieces of steel tube that you have. It really, you can't really tell. For instance, here's one I did where I did it every 8 to every 12 inches or so, and it is almost as flat as can be. Flat enough that when I go to weld it in and put it in, excuse me, I can put some ratchet straps on it and actually just pull it down where I need to. I probably could just pull it with my hand and put a weld on it. It's not off it much at all. But, so I went ahead, bought it, got a 90-day return policy. I still may or may not return it. I don't know. I'm not convinced yet. It doesn't come with 1.25 inch dies, which is what I'm using, but it does come with 1.5 inches. So that could also be part of the problem on why it wants to turn and twist. Aside of that, it's not a bad machine. It does arches pretty good. You really have to manpower it, and you really have to get in there and turn. The first one I had where it twisted and turned took me close to an hour to actually bend it, match it up to the existing machine, bend it, match it to the existing machine, and just keep going back and forth. But the second one, after seeing that twist and after kind of contemplating and looking at things, I got each one of them down to about a half hour. Actually 20 minutes on the last two, but I do need to go in where one might be a little tight in the back and a little loose in the front, and then the other one's a little loose in the back and tight in the front. They don't quite match. They're really close. I can go back in and straighten one side up a little bit and then tighten the other side up. By that I mean I just flip it in upside down, make sure I have room, and I can actually straighten it out a little. And I'm not putting a huge radius on these. It's not big at all, but it's enough that I don't want to do that bender again, the pipe bender itself, because it takes too long to do. But this guy, it actually worked pretty good for the price I paid. I picked it up at Harbor Freight for only $200, so that wasn't bad at all. These guys on the floor, I'll show you real quick here in just a minute that 2 of them are extremely close. The third, it's off a little bit. I can fix that. The fourth is the one that twists, and I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to make a new one instead. But the machine for $200 works pretty good. I get a couple of other ideas that I want to try, and we'll see if they the other ideas will actually pick up and do what I need. I'm not sure if they will, but it's worth giving it a shot and trying to build it. It might mean the difference between having somebody slave over these in their home to make plans versus the possibility of offering maybe tack welded frames or fully welded frames and go that route. I don't know. I was wanting to do just plans and just ship things out so I didn't have to stock anything, didn't have to do anything. I could just spend my time focusing on the unit, making it better, constantly improving it, updating the plans. But it might be that that's not the case. It might be that I actually just need to build these and put them out there. And it wouldn't be my only company. It would be just something I do on the side for people that are willing to spend a little money and play with it. Oh, we'll see. I'm not sure. But for $200, it's not bad. It works pretty good. Not the end all be all, and you will wear yourself out, so be careful. Be ready for it. But that's it. So the one with the blue tape is the one that is twisted. You can see I've got the second one real close to being the same. And then my third and fourth, they're off a little bit. But that's easily fixed, believe it or not. Just run it back through, do a little bit of tightening here, a little bit of tightening there, or actually flip it backwards and loosen it. But they're all close, and all of them have about a half hour, except for the first one that actually was an hour. So to say that maybe I've got 30 to 45 minutes in each one of them to get them identical, that's not a bad thing to say. I could do that. Just need to spend a little more time. I need to build a table. So on that table, I can start building the trike itself. All right, so what happened the other day? I'll tell you what happened. So look at the tubing going straight down. See the two in the middle, especially this one, extremely straight. This one's off a little. This one's off a little. This one's way off. That's the first one I did. It took me about an hour. These three took about 30 minutes each. And the cool thing is, this little gap where they're not quite straight, I can actually fix it. This guy that's off here and off way up here, because it goes like this, and like this. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother straightening it. It has the right curve. It's just all morbidly warped in different ways, so I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna let that one be kind of the example. I may clean it up a little bit, straighten it up a little bit more, a little bit better, but that will do the sides. Won't be bad at all. It's just a little time consuming, and now that I've gotten it down to about a half hour, that's not a bad deal. And like I said, when I strap things down and I use some straps to pull things back in place a little bit, all I'm doing is pulling a quarter inch here, a quarter inch there. So to get those back together and be able to weld to hold it in place that's not an issue. I do need to address this one a little bit. You can see that gap right there. Well, there's also a gap here. So if I pull these together, pull the center together, then it'll show me on one end what is really off. But these two look good. That one, this one, sound effects are free. Anyways, that'll go with the ability to make more of these guys, which I cannot wait. I'm gonna get that front end different, do it the way I originally intended, which I've never followed back up. Swing arms. Need a little bit of adjustment on that mounting, which I'll do on the next one. Oh, gotta love it. Let's see, motor mount. No, you can't see it in there. It is in there. It is down in there. A little distracted there, but yeah. Oh man, she needs a major cleanup. But what happened the other day? So the dog bones that are up underneath here, I only tack welded them. I didn't actually finish the welds out. So in our little ventures out in the yard, boom, they popped. And then popping means that the whole rear end collapsed. Otherwise, it was doing good. Upon acceleration, it wasn't rising. It stayed level or had just a little bit of drop as it scooted through, which is a good thing. If it rises, you get problems. You want to keep and maintain level or have a little bit of a dip under hard accelerations. The other thing is cam chain sensor. That thing, the engine moved so much, it hit the chassis, broke the cam chain tensioner, and then wouldn't let it start. So I got a new one. We put it in. I'm going to work today on doing a front engine mount, which is going to be up under here. One day, that guy might disappear because that's not for this engine. It's for nothing, actually. Nothing at all. Needs to go away. What else? Front motor mounts. Fix that, and then actually it's up and running and functioning. My shifter actually worked really good. I'm not going to say I was surprised, but it worked really good. My shift ideas for the shift mount are some heim joints on the top and heim joints on the top, or on the bottom, and those worked good. I spread my tips out a little bit instead of them being close to the pivot point. I brought them out, gave me a little more torque. My shift handle is just a couple pieces of rod, but it actually works good. I'm quite impressed with it. I have no leaks in the brakes, no leaks in the clutch. I do need to bleed them again. And that's stuff that I'm going to try to accomplish today. We'll see if I can get them done. If so, I'll get you an update and we'll go from there. But boy, she needs a cleanup. Bad. So bad. So bad. Yep, a little surgery for the rear end now. See if we get those things fixed under there. You can't even see. There they are. Oh, yeah. Get them fixed up properly. And we'll see about the front motor mounts and go from there. Yippee-ki-yay.